Posted a video in a while because I had COVID and I had a whole bunch of stuff going on with real estate. But listen to everything that I'm about to tell you. And for those that are hip, that really want to get down, take action immediately. There is something called CRA, Community Reinvestment Act. And all of these banks have violated this act that was passed in 1977 by Congress. And there's been chatter going around amongst lawyers, these large law firms that sue, major companies, and they win all the time, right? They are about to set up a lawsuit to sue a lot of the major banks because in the CRA, the Community Reinvestment Act, banks are required by Congress to invest money into underserved or, certain communities that are at least 50% minority. And these banks have not been doing it. None of them, right? Because of this chatter, these banks are now giving away money to purchase a home. Okay, so the First National Bank is giving $20,000 towards your down payment and $5,000 towards your closing costs. Truist Bank is giving out $10,000 towards your down payment or your closing costs. And there's no strings attached. These are grants. Okay, this is money that you do not have to pay back. You do not have to take a class. You do not have to, have a higher interest rate because you're getting this money. They have technically broken the law. And now a lot of these banks are scrambling to fix that by issuing this money. So starting March 3rd, tomorrow, First National Bank will be giving people $20,000 toward the purchase of a home and $5,000 toward the closing costs if you purchase in an area that is 50% minority. Now, let me just say this. For all of my business owners that have written off everything, so that they don't have to pay taxes and it shows on their tax returns that their business lost money or didn't make any money, you will not qualify for this. Okay, in order to qualify for this as a business owner, you will have to go back and amend your taxes. So get with your accountant. It may not make sense for you because then you'll owe the IRS. So figure out if you want to do that to get access to this. Now, if you're somebody that has 2 years of tax returns where you can prove your income, if you have 2 years of W-2s, your last 2 pay stubs, your last 2 bank statements, any retirement statements, if you have student loans, your student loan statements, have these things ready. I'll put the link in the description to these programs. And of course, if you're in DC, Maryland, Virginia, or Pennsylvania, hit me up. I can help you all get started on this. Now, take advantage of this. There are a lot of people out there that say, hey, we need reparations. This is your way to get reparated and get into a home without putting any money down. This is big. This is big. A lot of people want to purchase a home but don't have the money for the down payment. And I always scream, when free money enters the market, you have to take advantage of it. Especially, we all know Donald Trump, pretty much took away the federal down payment assistance grants, right? The FHFA, changed course. That money's no longer available. That's fine. We still have local, we still have state, and now the banks are giving the money out. Okay, so First National Bank, $20,000 towards your down payment, $5,000 towards your closing costs. And this is up to, right? This doesn't mean you'll get the entire 20 or the entire 5K. This is up to. They'll pretty much give you the money that you need. Truist Bank, 10 grand. Now, let me say this because a lot of people get this confused. This does not mean that they're just going to hand you a check for $20,000. This does not mean that they're going to hand you a check for $5,000. This does not mean that they're going to hand you a check for $10,000. This is a number on your settlement statement where the bank is crediting you. They're giving you a credit on the purchase towards your down payment. So for most people, your down payment may not be $20,000, maybe $10,000. Well, they will cover it if you move into certain areas within the census tract. And again, there are no strings attached, like the NACA program, where you got to go through this strenuous 3-month, program and class, and you got to do this and do that and do community service. None of that. They are required to do this. They're also required to do it for businesses. Now, I'm not sure. I haven't gotten any insight on how they're going to handle this for businesses. I've gone to some of these banks. I've talked to some of these people. The money is there. It is the bank's money. It is not the government's money. And it is out here for you to use to purchase a home. So it doesn't matter what state you're in. They have to do this. Okay. Now, these 2 banks have stepped up and they're doing it. the other banks will fall in line. Your Bank of America's, your Wells Fargo's, your other. Well, what Wells Fargo does what they want. They don't care. They'll just wait to get sued, and they'll just pay it. They'll just pay the lawsuit. They don't care. But every other institution, these large institutions, they have to do this, and you should take advantage of it because it is money that you do not have to pay back. There's no higher interest rate. There's no strings attached. Okay, since 1977, they have had to do this every year, and they haven't been doing it. But now, because these major law firms are starting to get together, and they see a big payday, because when law firms sue these major corporations in these class action lawsuits and stuff, they get half the money. If it's $1 billion, they get $500 million. So they are starting to get together and put these lawsuits together. Now the banks are struggling to put this money out there because they have to prove and show that they've actually done this, and none of them have. And you can take advantage of this. If you're somebody out there that wants to purchase a home, you have at least a 620 credit score and higher. This is your time. You have to strike while the iron is hot. Don't believe the hype that you see on YouTube and about this real estate crash stuff. There is no real estate crash in the residential area. It is only in the multifamily area. And when I say multifamily, I'm talking about apartment complexes. They are in trouble. My friends that own apartment complexes are selling their apartment complexes. Okay. I did a video in the past where I said the reason why there will be some sort of a crash in the real estate market is because of renters. Okay. Those are the people, for the most part, that are in trouble. Now, that doesn't mean that later on down the line there won't be a housing market crash. But as of right now, mortgage delinquencies are very low. And on multifamily, these apartment complexes, the mortgage delinquencies are very high. Okay. And of course, those are big boys. They'll probably get bailed out by Donald Trump and them. That's his lane, the apartment complexes. Here's the other thing. A lot of these YouTubers have been getting indicted because they are Chinese agents. They are being paid like how we do sponsored videos on different channels. I do them too. But they have been getting paid by China, and they haven't been registered as a foreign agent. And they have been doing this while the Chinese come in and purchase all of the real estate. You need to pay attention to what is going on here. Okay. Now, the way it's being kind of marketed is toward black people to help them. But you can be of any race to get access to this money. Again, First National Bank and Truist Banks are the first two to step up and say, let's get this done, because they don't want to have to get sued for billions of dollars when they could have only spent, 50 million or however much their budget is to extend this money to people to use to purchase real estate. We know that there's an affordability crisis and that most people don't have the money for their down payment. But this can remedy that. You do not have to pay it back. It is a line item on the settlement statement. It is their money. They are crediting you for the down payment and in some cases the closing costs to purchase a home. Take advantage of it. Strike when the iron is hot. Let's get this money.